Hello, 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 everybody. So I'm trying to get all this together. Hold on one second. Let me get it right. I apologize. I thought my title should be showing up on here. I'm working on this new, well, it's not new, but I haven't done a lot of videos on it. So I'm still trying to work it out and get it together. So if my title is not showing up, I want to go ahead and say to you what it is. In the title of this live or this blog or this video is self-love and how it affects how we view and treat ourselves and others. And then I put in here talking about, because I like to talk about things that are going on, are big in the I'm gonna say news or in my community right now. One thing is, so I put R. Kelly, and then I put reality TV. And the reason why I kind of put those two things in with self-love is because, I spend time, like most of us, a lot of time on either watching reality TV shows. I watch a lot of documentaries. I watch a lot of different things. Then I spend a lot of time on social media. And, I follow celebrities and, what is it? The gossip or the blogs or the different things like that, like most people do. And so I often see a lot of people making comments to celebrities or to, it may not even be a celebrity. It may not be a celebrity you see on TV. It could be somebody just, famous on social media and things like that. And they may talk about different things. They may have been on particular reality shows, or just say they're in the news, for example, like R. Kelly. Now, I'm from Chicago. R. Kelly is a year older than me. Ran in the same circles for periods of time. Now, of course, I'm older, so being around it was a different experience. But I am also a woman who generally myself is attracted to younger men, younger looking men is what I'll say. Because for me, I'm not really attracted to gray hair. I'm not attracted to wrinkles. I'm not attracted to those things. Now, I definitely want to make sure that I'm always, dating someone who is of age. Especially now in the age that I'm in, of course, I definitely wouldn't date anybody who is under the age of, what did I put? I put a age on me. So I think I said 35. But I just knowing and growing up in Chicago and just knowing and hearing the stories, seeing things about, R. Kelly, actually seeing things for myself and hearing things, from very reliable sources, I know that, yes, R. Kelly does like younger people. I believe that we all are products of our life experiences. I believe that if each and every one of us took the opportunity to evaluate why somebody or why people do some of the things that they do, or be honest with yourself and say that you don't have the right to really judge anybody as if you're perfect, and be a little bit more compassionate to people. I don't want anybody to think that I'm at all saying it's right for R. Kelly to, date, mess with, have sex with women who are under the legal age, or girls who are under the legal age of consent. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that it's a rationale, it's a reason behind each and everything each of us do. And I don't think R. Kelly is any different just because he's a celebrity. And if you heard his story, if you've taken time to learn about his experiences as a child, it could, just like, we watch all these other, we may watch talk shows, we may watch, people that are regular people who may tell stories as to why their behavior is what it is. And people are usually more compassionate to them because they hear what their life experiences were that could affect the way that we view things and do things moving forward in life. And I feel like, we kind of give compassion to those people, but we think and we treat celebrities or people who happen to, be talented and famous for whatever reason, we treat them as if they're not regular human beings who grew up just like regular people having regular experiences. And just because they happen to be talented, just because they happen to be gifted, does not make their experiences that can affect their mental and their way of dealing different than anybody else who is not famous and who is not talented and who is not gifted. I believe that everybody must, when things are done wrong to you, when you experience things, when you don't deal with them, if you don't ever deal with them, which dealing with them means either talking to somebody, excuse me, because I'm at home, so you may hear lawnmower, but talking to somebody, sharing with somebody, allowing yourself to express that emotion, that whatever that is that you experience brought out in you, be it a child, be it as an adult, as a teen, anything. If you don't get the opportunity to deal with those demons will deal with you. And those demons will come out in the form of molestation, in the form of pedophilia. Because if, as somebody who was a survivor of childhood molestation, it makes you want to make sure that you're tough. It makes you want to make sure that anytime you are in the position again of vulnerability, you find a way to not be in that position. And I think that if all of us as people kind of looked at things from a perspective of care and concern, we wouldn't be so quick to want to, vilify someone and treat them as if they are not a human being and a child of God as well. We all are children of God, and none of us are perfect, and no sin is worse than the other. But all sin does deem punishment. Yes, it does. But I believe that, if we don't deal with, if people do not deal with the demons that they have, then they find a way to deal with them themselves. And when that stuff happens to you, when things go on with you and you're a child, you end up dealing with things in a childlike manner. And most times children, it's just like if somebody was bullied all their life, bullied as kids. When they get in a position, that's why they want jobs like police officers or correctional officers or things that put them in control so that they don't ever have to deal with that feeling of bullying again. But again, guess what they usually do? They often do go and bully others. Now, they won't say it's because they were treated wrong, because they never dealt with the feeling of being bullied. Somebody who's dealing with being molested as a child, if you never deal with it, if an adult never tells you that whatever that is that happened to you is wrong, if an adult never acknowledges what you said and tells you that, okay, I apologize, or I acknowledge what you're telling me is right, and let's deal with it, because you can't go back and unmolest yourself. Nobody can take it back. What happened, happened. And that's the way, that I look at it and how I deal with me. The difference from my personal experience was that I immediately said something about it. Now, was I believed? I'm not sure, but the circumstances changed. And the circumstances that that changes, I was not put in that position again, because I knew when something was being done to me that it was wrong, and I said something to that person, that adult, in that moment, and I don't know if they weren't prepared, for it or whatever, but I know when I said it to the other adults that were in care of me, they made sure that we were not, and I was not around that person again. It did not go intense. It did not happen more than one time. And I knew at the time that it was done that was wrong. So how I may handle something moving forward, and how I deal with, relationships, and who I choose. And I'll be honest, maybe I like younger men because an older man did that to me. That could be what it is. I don't want anybody who I feel like can be in authority, or who I can feel like they're going to take control over me. That's and it's not in the age, it's just in the look. For all I know, that could be it. Have I ever gotten actual therapy about it? No, I haven't. But I definitely have never been shamed. Just like I'm here on YouTube, everybody all around the world is going to be able to see this. I've never been ashamed of speaking my truth and letting people know how I dealt with it, just in case somebody else is experiencing it as an adult, has experienced it as a child, or currently experiencing it as a child. My goal is to make sure that I can tell my story, and how I dealt with it, and how I'm still dealing with it, so that maybe it will help somebody, or maybe it will allow you as a human being who may not have experienced something like that. And you know what? That is a blessing, to have a little bit more compassion for people who have, and whose decisions and moves that they make are based on their experiences done to them wrong as a child. They need to get help. They need to, first of all, acknowledge that they are the way that they are, probably because of those experiences that they never dealt with as a child. But everybody can't talk to everybody. Everybody does not have that gift that is going to make someone feel comfortable with you, to talk to you and allow themselves to pour out their feelings to you, so that they can acknowledge what may be wrong with them, why it's wrong with them, and what they need to do moving forward to fix themselves. Now, I say, well, how self-love affects the way that we deal with other people, because it's just exactly as I'm speaking about. When you love yourself, you don't want to hurt and beat up on nobody else, because you want to treat people the way that you want to be treated. You want, if something happened bad to you, or you did, something wrong, and it was a reason behind it, even if you want the person to be punished, or if they feel like you should be punished, you still want them to give you that in a way that you learn from it while getting your punishment. We all have been kids, and our parents didn't always say, I'm whooping you because I love you. I'm punishing you because I love you. So I ain't saying punishment is not necessary. But when you're coming from a place of negativity all the time, and wanting to just beat up on, destroy, and push people to the brink that they may possibly even try to kill themselves, you got to question yourself about what do you view about you. Because if it's love in your heart, you gonna want to issue out punishment, as I said, but you're going to come from a loving place. It's not going to come from a place of destroying another person, even though they may have done something to destroy somebody. They ain't know better, which means that may be the reason. And don't think people just know better because they should know better. If you are somebody who has gotten something done wrong to you from some people 4 years old all the way up to they 15, 16 years old, you've had to tell yourself that got to be right, because why would it continue to keep happening to you if it's not right? As a child, your mind thinks like a child, so you can't just assume that somebody knows just because people told them it's wrong. People were telling you it was wrong at the time that it was happening, but it continued to happen to them, so they figured, hey, maybe it ain't wrong. So you have to give people the compassion to say, hey, you need some help. Now, if they're not willing to get the help, If they're not willing to try out all different avenues, because like I said, everybody ain't for everybody. When you sitting down with somebody and you know that their goal is really more so to tear you down than to figure out really how they can help you, you automatically get on the defensive. That's all of us. I know if you're honest with yourself, you're gonna come and say, you know what? Yeah, if I sit up, this is like if somebody said they want to talk to me, and I know they already then came up and have a conclusion about who I am, why they don't like me, all these different things about I'm guilty for whatever it is that they want to sit down with me for. I'm gonna sit down there in defense. I'm going to sit down there with my armor on because I'm ready to fight, because I know this is not somebody who is coming to me with compassion, ready to hear my side of the story and ready to help me however they can help me, because they're open-minded, because they're not willing to just dish out hurt and dish out pain and dish out negativity. So think about that. Now, I'm going to get off of R. Kelly. All I ask is that when you're viewing all of the situations right now in regards to him, forget all of what the money and the people and the pain, all that other stuff. Focus on what he did to whomever it was supposed to be done to. All the girls, women, whoever. Focus on wanting that man to get the help that he needs so that he can understand and deal with whatever is in his past that determine how he moved forward in his future. Pray for those people, young girls or whoever may be same way, because whatever happened to them happened in their youth. And if they've mentally told themselves, oh, it's okay, it's right, this and that, they're going to be adults or currently are adults right now, moving and making decisions according to things that were done wrong to them as children as well. So it's a cycle. And everybody generally is bothered by somebody who got bothered by somebody else. So just because a person is a celebrity and just because a person is famous, they ain't no different than in these families, these uncles, these older cousins, and these brothers and all this who are molesting and touching on their family members, and it just ain't getting out because they're not famous. And you'll probably be a family that has people in there, in your family, who you know that those people are pedophiles and they're predators, but you gonna just keep your mouth closed and then be somewhere tearing down somebody else because they happen to be famous and you know about their dirt. So we gonna keep it real. That's one thing I do on this show, is try to keep it real on my channel, is keep it real in hopes that when I'm saying what I'm saying, it's gonna help us all be better and do better. But if you know, and if you grow, especially in the black family, we good for what happened in this house, stay in this house. Don't tell my business. Don't this, and that. And then you turn around and all those things are happening and you're not thinking about the child who you are basically telling that their feelings don't matter and that they are not validated by the adult who was giving them to protect them, even believing in them and believing what they say. So think about that. Treat people the way you want to be treated. You will not dish out a bunch of negativity when you happy on the inside. You will not view people from a negative standpoint when you happy on the inside. Will you be honest with them? Will you give constructive correction? Yes, you will. But constructive and just negative tearing down is two entirely different things. Now, how I bring this back to this reality TV stuff. I watch all of the housewives, most of them. I watch the stuff on VH1. And it, for one reason I watch, especially like the ones where they are very financially well off, for real, not just for TV. And to see that they are still ugly and nasty and negative and jealous and insecure, all these things that us people, or the people who don't have that financial security, think that financial security will solve. And it goes back to what I'm saying. Self-love. Money, all the money in the world ain't gonna make you love yourself. Because all that comes from within. It comes from your relationship with your creator, and it comes from you knowing who you are and what you deserve out of life. And understanding that whatever position you're in, whatever position you're in this moment, ain't the position that you got to be in for the rest of your life. So it ain't no need to be looking at anybody else who look better than you, got more money than you, in a relationship, have a bigger house, have a bigger car, all these things that people can have over you. It's no need to look at them and try to find something negative to say to hurt them because you're not happy with where you are and who you are in this moment. Think about that. I mean, I go down sometime on social media and I just be like, who would say that to people? Like, and I ain't gonna lie and say I don't sometimes be looking at stuff that is just like, oh, why they put that on social media? Why they get that on? Or why, or I may think somebody not attractive. Whatever it is, it's just my thought and my opinion. But guess what? Because I'm not unhappy with myself, I wouldn't dare go and say something ugly and nasty and mean to somebody that I don't even know. Like, really, what your mama said. If you ain't got nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all. And what does that say about you? That you would take the 2 seconds, 5 seconds, 1 minute, however long it takes to type that negativity to a stranger. Why are you trying to hurt their feelings? What joy is that bringing to you to make somebody else unhappy? What joy is that bringing to you to hurt somebody else's feelings? And why would joy come to you from hurting somebody else unless you ain't happy within you? Self-love. You got to find it. And we find it if we stop using the time that we could be doing whatever it is we need to do to make us happy within us, to try to point and look at and be in everybody else's business. Fake like we got stuff that we don't have. And just being a better us. That is different for each and every person. Because we all got different things that we need to work on. But I can guarantee you ain't going to never get everything you need to work on done with you when you focusing on and worrying about everybody else's business and everybody else's problems. Or not even their problems, what everybody else got. You can't expect good things to come to a bad situation or person. Beauty don't want to come to nothing ugly. It just don't. Positivity don't dwell in negative spaces. It don't. So if you sitting here saying, I want this, I want my life to be better, but anytime you see and deal with anybody, you coming from something negative, you sitting here and so what? I think, what was it? Tamar Braxton. One time, I don't know, she was performing in Candy's Welcome to the Dungeon or whatever. And she had on a red cat suit, or she had on something. Tamar is over 40 years old. And she had all the dimples that all us who ain't went and re-got surgery, or like cool sculpting and all the other things that you can get to try to get your dimples away. She got all that what most American women, especially black women, have. So what? So what you saw? We just can't see yours. But why would you think that it would be okay to go on Tamar's page or comment under her video on her page what she need to be doing? And that you know would be hurtful if somebody said the same thing to you. And who the hell are you to tell anybody what they need to be doing with themselves? Just think about that. Don't that sound crazy to you? You negative people? You people who ain't got nothing better to do but to want to try to tear somebody else down? Think about that. This is for you. Because your life, my life, believe you me, I'm only here now because First of all, talking to elders, experiencing a bunch of BS, and realizing that a lot of the BS that I experienced was about what I was putting out, about what I was doing to others and behind closed doors. And it was coming back 10, 20 fold. So I figured it out, and I just wanted to come on this live. I wanted to talk about this, first of all, because I am trying to grow my channel and grow my subscribers, and of course, learning and educating. I know you have to be more active. You need to put more content. It just makes you come up and be recommended more. But I'm not, like I said, I'm going to talk about things. I'm going to talk about things that's currently going on and things like that, but I'm not going to be a gossip. Everything ain't for everybody. And gossiping and only talking about people's business, putting out negativity about people, just ain't going to be my way. Everybody got their own way, and we all want to hear the news, and we want to know what's trending, and we want to hear people's opinions. A lot of times, I'm here to give you my opinion, but I just won't spread gossip. Like we say from here, I just want to try to put my spin on a lot of things that's going on today, in hopes that I'm going to help spread a little more love. We as a country, black folks as people, we would get so much further if we spreaded more love instead of such hate and negativity. And literally ain't a perfect person walking this earth. And because that's the case, that means we all have room to work on ourselves, which means we should not be worried about or consumed with telling somebody else what's wrong with them, what they should be doing, and how they should be doing it. And if you are, and if you feel like, hey, I want to share my information, I want to share what I feel like, what I'm doing right now, try doing it from a place of love, from a place of peace, and from a place of help, instead of a place of pain, a place of negativity, and a place of destroying someone. What good do you get out of destroying someone's character, someone's spirit? And you just never know. We are in a day and age where mental health is just going haywire. I don't know what it is, but I know as I was growing up and I was in my 19s and 20s, it was never so many people who were giving up on life and committing suicide. And I truly believe it's because in this day and age of where your life and everything, and mostly things about you are so public with social media and things like that, I feel like, people get to a point where they can no longer keep up the facade of what we as fans or we as people who are seeing them have created, what their life is about based on what they're showing. And then it's something entirely different in the background and off the internet. So I just want to thank y'all for watching. I would love to, first of all, for you to subscribe to my channel, this channel, Monique J, and subscribe to the Weekly Wind Down with Monique J channel. It's on YouTube as well. Visit my website, which everything will be in the bio, but definitely subscribe. Please give me a thumbs up if you like what I'm saying. You can give a thumbs down. I'm not tripping on the thumbs down. And if you have a comment on what I'm speaking about, comment. And it doesn't have to be in agreement with me all the time, but as long as it's coming from a place of positivity or constructive criticism. If you disagree, you disagree. But when you're disagreeing, be able to eloquently say why you disagree and why you think your point of being negative is better than my point of being positive. So again, thank y'all for watching. Feel free to share and definitely hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. This has been Monique J. Thanks for watching my live today. And be sure to subscribe. God bless you and remain in peace and not in pieces.